5 team coverage of the brush fires that have been burning across our area. The biggest concern tonight continues to be in Page County, Virginia. A fire there has burned more than 3,500 acres, and at last check, it was only 10% contained.
Our Adam Longo captured this video while traveling on I-81 in Shenandoah County. You can see the smoke from those brush fires really causing a haze in the skies there.
And then let's show you this map from the Virginia Department of Forestry's website. Those red dots you see scattered across the screen are active fires that emergency crews are working to contain right now. It is a different kind of Thursday night, but we are glad you're here. I'm Leslie Foster.
And I'm Lorenzo Hall. So the lack of rain and low humidity is really helping these fires burn. Meteorologist Caitlin McGrath is tracking the weather and its impact on those fires. Our Matt Gregory spoke to fire officials in Prince William County to find out how they battled dozens of blazes.
But we begin tonight with our Matthew Torres in Page County, where officials just announced school will be closed again tomorrow as a result of these fires.
Residents here say they've seen fires before, but nothing like this in Page County. Here on this property, you can see where that fire ended, but because of the winds today, it's still smoldering and some flames are still flickering over there. And get this, it's so close to this home right here.
This to our house is probably about 60 yards.
It was a close call for Nina Fox. As someone who grew up in Page County, the number of fires burning is alarming to her. The family is planning to stay elsewhere as thick smoke is making the air quality worse.
Really, the last 24 hours is when things just really went kind of chaotic.
Although we don't know exactly what sparked the flames, strong winds Wednesday and some today aren't helping. At last check, the Virginia Department of Forestry says more than 3,400 acres in the county have burned. Out of the 5 major active fires, only 1 is 10% contained. But smaller ones are still popping up, forcing some people to evacuate their homes. While we don't have the exact number, some cabins have already been destroyed, including this one. The National Park Service has issued a fire ban at Shenandoah National Park, shutting down roads and trails. 450 acres have burned at the park alone.
Any fire in the park is considered significant because we don't want it to threaten, the safety of the firefighters responding or visitors. This is a rather large fire for this area, especially with the conditions that we're dealing with.
But outside the park, Fox says neighbors are now helping, which comes as no surprise in this community.
We have limited resources, but what we lack financially, we make up for in dividends with the people.
In Luray, Matthew Torres, WUSA 9.
WUSA 9 Weather Watch Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
All right, we're on the Weather Watch now as we take a live look outside. Blustery and cold, but sunny today. And those winds, of course, are helping to fuel some of the fires you just heard about burning in Virginia.
Yeah, meteorologist Caitlin McGrath joins us now with a closer look at how the weather is really fanning those flames. Caitlin.
Yeah, guys, it was once again dry today, but not as dry as yesterday, and windy, but not as windy as yesterday. So that meant the fire danger itself was lower, but certainly not helping with those areas that were already burning from the fires that were started yesterday. Right now, we are still seeing wind gusting near 20 miles per hour in Martinsburg and DC, 15 miles per hour in Leesburg, and relative humidity still between about 25 to 35%. So also a bit of an improvement from yesterday. Also an improvement, the air quality. We actually had some code red air quality earlier today through parts of Page and Shenandoah, where we just saw the worst of those fires still burning right now. That is now moderate air quality, so great news there, and it will continue to improve as those fires continue to be put out elsewhere. We do have code green, really good air quality outside tonight. Now, we do want to focus also on a weather watch alert we've issued for Saturday. We have rain arriving late Friday night, and by the time you wake up on Saturday, it is going to be pouring. So we'll take you hour by hour with Futurecast starting at 11 o'clock. And this model just updated about 20 minutes ago, and it shifted the heaviest axis of rain. So we'll fast forward to Saturday morning. This is right around 6 a.m. Everyone waking up to widespread, moderate to occasionally heavy rain. But this is the biggest difference when you start to see some of that red popping up throughout the afternoon. Now it's pushing a little farther west of I-95. I'll talk about what that means for how much rain you can expect where you live coming up in just about 10 minutes.
Caitlin, thank you. In the meantime, our team coverage of the brush fires continues. Prince William County saw a lot of fire activity. Dozens of fires swept through the county.
Now, thankfully, no one was hurt and there are no reports of property damage. But as our Matt Gregory found out, crews spent several hours containing dozens of fires.
Businesses and no homes were damaged. For several hours, there was a very real fear that one of the fires could reach 95.
It's all quiet today at Station 26 in Woodbridge. Gears hung up, trucks are back in their bays. But this time yesterday,
within about a 6-hour time period, we had just under 40.
Prince William County Fire Chief Tom LaBelle says fire crews chased calls across the county like a dangerous game of whack-a-mole.
Yesterday was a little difficult because the wind kept shifting directions. And obviously, it's very much driven by the wind. And then depending on the topography, it can make it a little more difficult.
Chief LaBelle says they had no damage to homes or injuries, but the biggest fire ravaged through roughly 5 acres of Locust Shade Park. So we went to see the damage. The fire broke out deep in the woods close to I-95, which meant we had to go off-road.
So we hiked for a bit to get a better idea of what yesterday's fire did and take a look. You can see how it's just painted it with this ashy landscape here. And then as we continued on our walk, we found more of this over here. Smoldering trees, smoldering piles of leaves, and we got a better idea of just what firefighters were dealing with yesterday, because as you can see, this isn't a flat area, it's pretty hilly, and with the winds yesterday, they say this was a combination that made it very difficult to contain the fire.
And so as it was going up the hill, there's a point where we knew we would have to make a decision and talk to the state police about possibly shutting down I-95.
But thankfully, it didn't come to that. Chief LaBelle says with help from neighboring fire departments, they got Locust Shade under control. And today, it's just a case of watching the hot spots and taking in the new landscape at Locust Shade.
As far as the causes of the fires, those are all still under investigation. But Chief LaBelle did say so far, none of the fires look like they were started on purpose. In Prince William County, I'm Matt Gregory, WUSA 9.